Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome. Okay, today's chapter is a little long, so we have to go really fast. And whoever wants to read, please volunteer quickly. And if you're leaving the Zoom, you're stepping out, please let me know before you move. So I don't have to call your name and wait for your response. Okay, we'll quickly go to our bhajans. Okay, so please sing with me. Follow after me, okay? Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaha
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani
Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Thank you. Anybody would like to lead? Hare Krishna. Maybe the first one I will sing, then we all will follow. The second one and third one, if anybody would like to volunteer to lead, you're most welcome. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Repeat everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Anyone? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Ah,
Prabhu. You want to sing one line?
oh, okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Everyone. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
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 Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Okay, so we recite Elastic Darshana Sri Jagannath Bharati Subhadra Maharani. Okay, praise to the spiritual teachers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Om Tat Sat. Okay, didn't pause that one. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone again. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, so let's have somebody to start reading the introduction. Vijay Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna accepted Krishna as Parabrahma, the Supreme Brahman. Every living being is Brahman, but the Supreme Living Being or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Brahman. Paramdharma means that he is the supreme rest or abode of everything. Pavitram means that he is pure, untainted by material contamination. Purusam means that he is the supreme enjoyer. Sasvatam, original, Divyam, transcendental, Adidevam, the supreme personality of Godhead, Ajam, the unborn, and Vibham, the greatest.
Great. Haribol. Which verse is this from Bhagavad Gita? Which verse? Who can quickly check? The keywords are there. All the bold ones. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Sasvatam, Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajam, Vibhum. This is a very beautiful glorification by Arjuna for Lord Krishna. You know that there are two ways that you can actually look for Bhagavad Gita verses. Number one is, of course, internet. Okay. Yes, 10.12. Okay. Another way is if you have Bhagavad Gita in your hand. Okay. Turn to the back. I hope it has, because my old Bhagavad Gita had it. Like you can search like dictionary. Let me see if they still have that in. Yes, I think you can find it. If you look at the back of your Bhagavad Gita, you can go to P Param Brahma Param Dhamma. Yes. Okay, it is there. It's like this. Okay, it's like you have list like this, the page number and the verse.
Concept of Brahman.
Param Brahma Param Dhamma.
Parandama appears to be divided, but is not.
I think the number given here is wrong. It should be 10, 12. Even the dictionary is wrong. I mean, the index is wrong. So it's actually 10.12, but otherwise, you can check Bhagavad Gita verses 2 ways, internet, and also behind of the book. Okay, so let me open the translation. Prabhu, would you like to read? Somebody was reading just now, right? Who was it? Vijay Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Is it translation or both, Mataji?
Translation.
Arjuna said, "You are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest."
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so this is the explanation of that the verse. Okay, so we will be like second half of the chapter 4, we will touch on Brahman. Okay, otherwise this is glorification of Krishna. Okay, let's move on. Okay, before we go to chapter 4, as usual, we will have to recap chapter 3. It's been 2 weeks already. So Karma Yoga. Okay, so the chapter, yes, yeah, that's true, Mataji. This extracts, right, that we cover every time before we start our class is from introduction. So every class will have a short extracts from introduction Bhagavad Gita. So it's very nice that you have captured this. Okay, so chapter 3 started with a question from Arjuna. What question was that?
Why need to fight such a ghastly war?
Okay, so basically what was Arjuna's question? He was asking which is better, this or that. So what was that question?
Renunciation or work?
Yes. Should I just stop all this work because you say I should stay away from abominable works and killing is obviously abominable to me, or use intelligence to work? Okay, yes. So that was the question. And then Krishna took us to, Krishna gave a brief definition of Niskama Karma Yoga. Okay, and the answer that Krishna gave to Arjuna is, don't artificially renounce. You're not there yet. Okay, otherwise it is called immature renunciation, because you will go back to the material engagements if the renunciation is not pure. All right, so it is better that you do work by having knowledge and cultivating detachment. So this is what in Sambam Bonam Krishna was telling Arjuna in chapter 3. Okay, of course, Krishna also touched on karma kanda. Okay, karma kanda means is an activity without spiritual objective. Okay, karma means work. Karma kanda means without spiritual objective. It is basically a religious activity you execute with the purpose of receiving material awards. Okay, and performance of this karma kanda is guided by the Vedic principles, Vedic injunctions, the guidelines provided in the Vedas. So we have covered this like so many times. Prabhu, what is it?
Performing yagnas.
Yes, those included that as well. Okay, so at this level, the people who are engaged in karma kanda activity, they understand that there is something called a spiritual nature beyond this material world, and they agree to follow certain religious process, and they follow a certain religious process, they obey certain moral conducts, because they know at the end they have some rewards in that work. and it means it will also determine where do they go, like higher planetary system. So this one also we know already. Karma kanda activities is for people to elevate themselves after death. Okay, they know there is a more material prosperity out there, more sensual pleasure, and better destination after that. So basically, they know they want to enjoy, but they want to do it in a right manner. Okay, the allowed manner. Okay, so that is karma kanda, full material benefit. All right, and then Krishna brought us to karma yoga. Now, karma yoga got two types. Did anybody catch what are the two karma yoga? Do you know the Sanskrit word? One is given here, Niskama Karma Yoga. So only the first part here, it will be changed. We are doing transitioning, yeah, from Karma Kanda. Not yet, belum Akarma. That one is Akarma, Vikarma. So this is the process, right? Karma Kanda, full material benefit. When you come to Karma Yoga, this person will have more spiritual knowledge. Okay, they know that Karma Kanda activity is going to bind them into this world. So they want to do work, but only surrendering some of the result of their work, not everything. So this is called Sakama Karma Yoga. Sakama Karma Yoga means there is still, they have spiritual objective, but they still have some material desires. They are still attached to some of the fruits, and he want to keep some for himself, some he wants to give God. So this is called Sakama Karma Yoga. So he's still in the process. So gradually, as he engaged in this process, he will give up the fruit of his labor, but it is a gradual process. So this is a practice of Sakama Karma Yoga. So when he advances at Sakama Karma Yoga, he will have a more transcendental knowledge whereby he will be fully detached from the fruits, and that stage will be Nishkama Karma Yoga. No desire for self. Okay. However, so why this is still karma yoga? Because he's still attached to the work. He still loves to do that work. It's just that he knows that he shouldn't be attached to the fruits. So he is still attached to the work. So you see the difference, right? Karma kanda, the person is attached to the fruit. Okay, whether in this life or after life. Sakama karma yoga, he gives some of the result. He surrenders some of the result. Okay, he still have material desires and he surrenders some of the result. Goes to this karma yoga, this person he can go on to surrender all the result, but he loves that work. Okay, so this is not pure devotional service. He's doing work, but he's surrendering the result to Krishna. So you understand, yeah? Karma kanda, Sakama karma yoga, Nishkama karma yoga. Okay, so these are all about art of work. Okay, now then later Krishna said all the work should be done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. For those who can't do that, they will engage in cycle of sacrifice where you saw the picture, right? You have to do the yagya, and then the yagya is offering to the demigods, and then they are pleased, they will send rain, and then the crops will grow, and then we can get the food, and then we say thanks to them through yagya. So this is called a cycle of sacrifice. Okay, so why great leaders in the past have performed Niskama Karma Yoga? Because they want to set correct example for their subjects. So the people will follow. All right. So basically, this is a combination of knowledge and work. All right. You perform your work with the knowledge that you're not self. And what happens if you do work with the material desire in your mind? You will create bondage. So all this work, you perform with this knowledge, and you surrender the results to Krishna. So with that consciousness, you fight. This is what Krishna told Arjuna. Okay, right. So the last verse in chapter 3 was 3.30. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me. So remember, yeah, the knowledge here. Without desires for profit. So it's not karma kanda, it's not sakama karma. Okay, it is niskama karma. Okay, without desires of profit, with no claims to proprietorship and free from lethargy, fight. Okay. So this is the key. Now, let me zoom into this phrase, surrendering all your works unto me. Okay, because it links to our chapter 4 today. Now, you can see here a person who's collecting some cash, okay? And clearly this cash, even though he's handling it or he's in charge of it, but he cannot claim proprietorship of the money. So it could be belonging to the boss of the company, all right, the restaurant or whoever owns the business, or the money like a banking teller collecting money deposits from the customers, actually collecting on the behalf of the bank. So they cannot claim proprietorship of the money. Okay, they cannot claim it's theirs. All right, so he has to surrender that cash to the rightful owner. Okay, now to perform this, to perform the highest level of karma yoga, so this is the same concept. You seemingly doing a lot of work, but the result, that benefit that you're getting, you're not enjoyer. Okay, you're the enjoyment that you are surrendering. Okay, so here to perform the highest level of karma yoga, which is surrendering all works to Krishna. So now you can, I hope you can recall back, yeah, karma kanda, sakama, and niskama. So finally, you are surrendering all works to Krishna. Okay, so if you want to do this, okay, say you have found this money. Okay, I have a question for you all. See whether you all can answer me. So now that you have found a, let's say, a bag of money outside the bank or something, okay, clearly somebody has came to deposit the money, or it got missed or something. What would you do? What do you need to do? Do you take the money to yourself? Do you take to the police? Do you take to the bank? What do you do? What would you do? Ignore and walk away. Okay. Sometimes inaction can be also a karmic reaction. What would you do? Anybody would like to share? Nobody? Is everybody there? Yes? No? I don't know. Inform to? Security guard. Right. Okay. What else? Let's say you found a wallet on the road. What would you first do? What will be the first thing that you do? Go to cops. Yes, check whose wallet it is. How do you check? Check IC, betul, got contact number or not? Yes. So what are you all trying to do at this stage? Yes, you are finding who is the owner. All right, very good. Okay, so if you are handling a lot of resources here in this material world, and we want to know where we should surrender our results to, so we want to know what do we need to know, right? All right, and then we want to know if we are given a knowledge that, okay, we need to surrender everything to Krishna, and you may have a question, why Krishna? Who is he? Why should I surrender all my results to him? Yes, we should ask. Naturally, a person who has no knowledge will start by asking this question. Okay, and how should I surrender the results? And this is the knowledge that chapter 4 is going to give us. Okay, so it is important to us, who am I surrendering to? Okay, what is the value of this knowledge? What is the authenticity of the knowledge? What is accreditation? Do you all remember all this information from level 1? Okay, so verse 3.30, yeah, so this is about surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me. So while we are saying this, you are not blindly doing something. You need to know what is the information that you need to have in order for you to act in such a way. Okay, so this is called sublime faith. So this is not blind faith. All right, so chapter 4 provides this knowledge. So with that, we are entering chapter 4, transcendental knowledge. This is a glimpse of Jnana Yoga, which will be expanded in the 3rd section of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. All right. So do you all remember all this information? The ancient history of Bhagavad Gita, the history of how Krishna descends. All right. And then importance of approaching a guru. Comparison between level 1 and level 2. All the verses will be revised, refreshed in this level, and we have extra verses here. So it is going to be a long chapter. So I hope all these verses that we have covered in level 1, you have already recapped. I gave notice like 3 days ago to recall that. Okay, so mostly I'll probably ask you all questions, okay, and see where is the status. Okay, if you guys are not so memory is not so fresh, then I have to refresh, and that's going to take time. All right, so that's why I told you all to do revision first before coming. Okay, so basically this will be our overview of chapter 4. First, we will get some transcendental knowledge about Krishna. Okay, that will cover the discipline succession, Krishna's form, appearance, and activities, why and when he comes, why he comes, okay, when he comes, what does he do, you know, all that. And then what is the benefit of all, what is the purpose of knowing all this, okay, benefit. Okay, next. And how do we apply this transcendental knowledge? Okay, here we will cover 3 modes and the Varna Asrama, the four classes in society. Okay, Brahmana, Satriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. Next will be understanding karma on the platform of jnana, how akarma leads to transcendence. And section 4, we will not cover in level 2. This is for you to read, all right, on your own. Finally, we will cover how this transcendental knowledge destroys sinful reactions. So we are always interested how all this knowledge that we are learning every week is going to destroy our sinful reactions, and how bad we are, and how close we are to destroy our sinful reactions. Okay, so what is the hope for us? Basically, what is the hope for us, right? Okay, so let's move to verse 1. Ganesha Prabhu. Just the English will do.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, said, I instructed these imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in return instructed it to Ishwaku.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so a brief explanation. After that, I will go point by point. Okay, so now Lord Krishna is explaining the history of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, millions of years ago, he spoke this Bhagavad Gita to the sun god, which means Arjuna is not the first recipient of Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago. Okay, it was spoken on another planet, in another situation, to another personality. All right. Then sun god has given that knowledge to Manu, the father of mankind. Manu instructed to Ikshvaku. So this is just the beginning of the disciplic succession. Later on, Krishna will say the succession line was broken. Okay, so before we move on to the next, this is actually a recap verse. Okay, so basically, Bhagavad Gita has been existing in the history of mankind for about 2 million, more than 2 million years. Okay, all this information are in the purport, right? So you have to read. Maybe you can take down points as I speak, or you can also read on your own. All right, it was given to Vivaswan about 120 million years ago. Okay, that was not human history. We are human. So human happens here at Ikshvaku level. Okay. So originally, previously Vivaswan received it 120 million years ago. After that, Ikshvaku about 2 million years ago. And then again to Arjuna 5,000 years ago. Okay, why Krishna has to give this Bhagavad Gita again to Arjuna? Because along the way, the information could have been scattered, or information has been misconstrued, it's diluted, or many things could have happened where the original message has lost its meaning, context. Okay, all right. So the next point here is that the point where Krishna gave to not an ordinary personality. Sun God is the king of the kings. Okay, this is a knowledge for royal order. It is not an ordinary knowledge. Okay, so in this case, Arjuna's case, he's a Satriya, he's a householder, and we are all ordinary human beings are learning it. But previously, it was received by Sun God, and Sun God is not ordinary being, right? So this knowledge is so dynamic that everybody can use it, right from the royal order to people like us, common people like us. Okay, so why it was given to a kingly person is because with this knowledge, the kings are supposed to guide and protect their citizens from bondage to lust. Right from the beginning, Krishna wanted to set this, okay, so that everybody will do the work without being bonded to lust. All right, and this is also another reason to impart Krishna consciousness and value of human life to citizens by education, culture, and devotion. All right, so in this way, it will be helpful for them to pursue a successful human life. Okay, so these are the reasons. From this one verse, you can actually extract so much information. The Vivaswan personality is so symbolic because he's from royal order. Why to king? So that the citizens will follow a good, valued life. Okay. Now, okay, what else? This is not given to an ordinary humans because the standard is very, very high. Okay, that is why it was given to royal order. Okay, and it was given to Sun God because he was king of all planets and he controls all the planets and rotating under Krishna's order. So this is all mentioned in Brahma Samhita. Okay, glorified by Lord Brahma Samhita. Sorry, by Lord Brahma in Brahma Samhita. Okay, therefore, and another importance here is that the knowledge given to Sun God by Krishna establishes Krishna's position as Apaurishaya, means he is not an ordinary human. Okay, an ordinary human cannot give a knowledge which can withstand the test of time. Knowledge from Bhagavad Gita is applicable in the past, in the present, and in the future. And such knowledge can only be given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he is beyond 4 defects of conditioned human being. Anybody can recall what are the 4 defects of human being? Meaning to say, a human being is not possible to deliver such a knowledge because he is always controlled by 4 defects. And these 4 defects is not in Krishna. Okay, I give one clue. One is imperfect senses. Any human being will have imperfect senses. We cannot see after a certain distance. We cannot hear at certain distance. Sometimes dog can hear something that we cannot hear. So this is called imperfect senses. What else? Probably we have
Tendency to commit mistake.
yeah, tendency to commit mistake. Okay, so imperfect senses, tendency to commit mistake. Defects
Always
of
in illusion
yes, always in illusion,
and lie.
tendency to lie. Cheat, yes, tendency to cheat, right? Okay, these 4 defects. All right, so Krishna is defect proof. So that is, so all this information are given to establish the authority behind the person who speaks this book, this knowledge. Okay, so let's move on. So basically, we just covered the ancient history of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna to Sun God, to Manu, to Ikshvaku. Okay, this is also a recap verse. Let me see if I can run through this. Kritika Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
The supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, so there's 2 segments here, yeah? 1 segment here and 1 segment here. So here, Lord Krishna has introduced the system, Guru Parampara system, which means knowledge should be only received from a self-realized person, a guru. There should be a system. He established a system, right? So he's very organized, right? So Lord Krishna introduced the system whereby the knowledge is passed from one senior to junior, and then the junior becomes a senior, and then he passes to his junior. So this is a system that Krishna established. So he demonstrated by giving the Krishna's first disciple is Lord Brahma. So remember in the beginning of the creation, when Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu lying down at the bottom of the at the Garbhodaka ocean, the lotus stem comes, and the first being born was Lord Brahma. So, Lord Krishna chanted the Vedic mantras to Lord Brahma, thus making him as his first disciple. And then Lord Brahma disciple is Narada Muni. Okay, actually his son, but is also a disciple. Narada Muni's disciple was Vyasadeva. So like this, Vedavyas disciple is Madhva. So this is how ISKCON comes under Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay, Mahaprabhu comes under this Sampradaya. Okay, so this is not the only Sampradaya that comes from Krishna, or in Krishna, in Vaishnava Sampradaya, there are 3 more. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to show here is this discipline succession here, and the knowledge should be received from guru, from student. The student becomes a guru, and then he gets another student. So this is how the message should be passed without altering the message. It should be given as it is. That is why the Bhagavad Gita that we use, it's called Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay, we take Krishna's word as it is. All right, so this is the system of discipline succession. So problem happened that gradually in due course, the knowledge chain was broken. So Krishna has to come again to refresh that. Okay, let's move on. All right, so this is also another importance. Why Guru Parampara? Okay, why you have to receive knowledge through Guru Parampara? Can we have Lakshmi Mataji to read for us?
Hare Krishna Mataji. In the Padma Purana, it is also said, Sampradaya Vihina Mantras te Nishpala Mata. There are 4 Sampradayas or discipline succession, namely the Brahma Sampradaya, the Rudra Sampradaya, the Sri Sampradaya, and the Kumara Sampradaya. If one wants to advance in spiritual power, one must receive his mantras from one of these bona fide sampradayas. Otherwise, he will never successfully advance in spiritual life.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So Padma Purana also supports the need of having a Guru Parampara. So if you remember, I have showed one chart in level 1. All right, if you all have your previous PDF, you can look at it. Okay, there should be a chart I gave. One is coming from Lord Krishna, Brahma, Madhava, Gaudiya Sampradaya, and one from Mother Lakshmi, and then Rudra Sampradaya, Lord Shiva. Another one is Sanat Kumaras. Okay, so there are 4 Sampradayas. So initiation or accepting Guru should happen in one of these 4 Sampradayas. Okay, all right, so we just finished covering transcendental knowledge about Krishna up to verse 3. Okay, and the importance of learning this information is that it will give Arjuna or us, okay, basically us, a faith on what we are hearing and what we are going to hear. All right, it also establishes the transcendental nature of Krishna, how he was the original person, how he is beyond the 4 material defects, okay, how he is the oldest of the oldest. Okay, so all that information to establish strengthen our faith on who are we hearing from, what are we hearing about. Okay, so let's move on. Text 4. Okay, Rajina Mataji, would you like to read? Is it convenient for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Arjuna said, the sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed these signs to him?
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Right, so this question in text 4.4 is asked for the benefit of others, for us, because there are people who will be thinking Krishna is just an ordinary person. He just took birth 5,000 years ago. Okay. So Arjuna is asking on behalf of all these people, you are my batchmate. How was it possible that you delivered to sun god 120 millions of years ago? Like that. Okay. So this is a puzzle that Arjuna has in his mind. Okay, how could it be possible Lord Krishna given this knowledge to sun god? Sun god is king of all the planets. How is that possible? So like this way, this is the duty of a student to put question to the teacher. Okay, so they can understand nicely, they can understand better. All right, so when Arjuna, remember in earlier chapter, when Krishna and Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, Sishyaste ham shadi mam prapannam. Shishya, I want to be your disciple, so please guide me and instruct me. So like this, Arjuna is putting questions to Lord Krishna. Okay, so the other purpose that Arjuna is asking this question is, one is to defy the people who says that Krishna is ordinary. That's one, like I mentioned earlier. Another one, he wants Krishna to speak authoritatively. Okay, he wants Krishna to establish the information about himself by himself. Okay, through his mouth, he wants to hear. He wants people to hear from him. Okay, not by other people telling. Of course, there are also other people telling, because later on, Arjuna will say, Asila, Sitala, Narada everybody has spoken about you. Now you yourself are telling. So that is something important. So Arjuna wants Krishna to declare that information about himself on his own. All right. So what is the benefit of Krishna speaking all this information? Okay, let me tell you few benefits that letting Krishna to speak all this information. Number one, when Krishna speaks, it is very auspicious for the entire world. Krishna's speech is auspicious to the whole world. Number two, devotees take pleasure and they welcome and worship such statements. Sometimes we are so happy to hear certain things that Krishna said, because we feel he's so authoritative and it's coming from the rightful personality. Okay, that's two. And but hearing and devotees love to hear Krishna speaking. They like to hear and hear and hear what Krishna speaks. So they take pleasure in that. And it is also to make known to people who are demoniac or the non-believers that Krishna is superhuman. He is not an ordinary man who is bound by karmic activity, and that is why he is born on the material planet. And we have so many messages going around saying that, oh, Krishna is Krishna's karma. He was born dark. It was Krishna's karma that he was born poor. He was born in jail. You know, you receive all this information. As the technology advances so much, it's very easy for people to just share a lot of knowledge. All right, you just need a phone and a keypad and a keyboard. You can write a lot of things. So that is why in the beginning itself, Arjuna probably would have foreseen all this going to happen. All right, and more things. So he wants Krishna to establish. And it is also giving us some guidance. How do we discriminate which is bona fide and which is bogus? Okay, so this establishes Krishna is superhuman, apaurishaya. He is transcendental and is above modes, time, and space. Okay. All right. And if you note that he is not inquiring in a challenging way, he is asking in such a nice way. How am I to understand Krishna? Okay. Sun God is very senior to you. Okay. How is it possible? Right. So this is how he's asking. Okay. So basically, this is the doubt by Arjuna. All right, so this is also a recap verse. Sashireka Mataji. Sivaranjani Mataji.
Krishna Mataji. The personality of Godhead said, many births, both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O subduer of the enemy.
Right, okay, thank you, Mataji. So now Krishna is describing something. I wanted to tell what is it, but I'm going to take a pause and ask this question to you. I mean, to all of you. What is Krishna's explaining here? So think for a while. I'm going to fetch water. Vasana, water. Got answer already? What is Krishna describing here? So earlier Arjuna asked. Arjuna
Mataji,
has doubt. Okay. He
um,
has always been there. Concept of time doesn't apply to him. Okay, we take note of that response. Okay, yes, Prabhu, proceed.
Krishna can remember his past life, but not us.
Okay, so what is he actually implying here? The answer that you gave is correct, Prabhu. Is absolutely correct. So that's the detail of it. Okay, just
Uh,
once again. Thank you. Okay, continue, Prabhu. What Krishna is implying here. Okay, he is the source of all every beings. Okay, he is Sachid Ananda. Okay, Vijay Prabhu. Oh, was it Somasundar Prabhu? I don't know who was speaking just now. Lord, remember, but Arjuna couldn't. Okay, that is what Krishna is telling in this verse.
Krishna born many times, but Krishna can remember
Okay.
what his past life, so he can know that he's the one to taught the lesson to Vivaswan. So he
Okay.
born many times.
Yes, correct. It's correct. Okay, he's been watching all of us as he's always with us. Yeah, he's part. Okay, correct. So our body is destructible, but not Lord Krishna. Okay, so all these are correct. These are very accurate details. So basically, all this comes under a simple concept that this is the difference between Lord Krishna and us. Okay, so all those that you have given here, he's source of every being. Yes, we are not. He's Sachid Ananda. We are not. Maybe our soul is, but our body is not. Lord, remember, but Arjuna couldn't. Yes, that is the difference. He's been watching all of us, so he knows what we are doing. That's right. We only know what we do, right? But Krishna knows everybody's actions. Our body is destructible, but not Lord Krishna. This is also a difference. He's been watching. Okay, so all of this talks about one point, which is difference between Lord Krishna and us. Okay, so the details are whatever you all have shared. He remembers his previous births, but we don't. Arjuna didn't. All right. So our Krishna is establishing a fact here is that we have taken many births, just like how he has appeared many times, but we don't remember them. He remembers it. Like from millions of years ago, he remembers what happened. Okay, he knows how he spoke the knowledge to sun god. So that's the difference. Okay, and he's saying that my birth and your death, my birth and death are not like yours. Okay, this verse 4.6, right? 4.5. 4.6 is not covered. Is there anybody with the Bhagavad Gita in your hand? Like right now, you can read for us verse 6. It's a continuation.
I'll read, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, you are reading, Mataji.
Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form.
All right, thank you, Mataji. So this verse has 2 points. One, Krishna is talking about how, based on what we are taking births again and again, and how his appearance again and again is not based on the same reason that we go through. Why do we take birth again and again? Why do we take rebirths? Karmic reactions. Okay, so what happens when we take rebirths again and again? What do we let go? What is destroyed? What is destroyed at the time of death, after we die? Body, yes, very
Physical
good.
body.
Yes, physical body is destroyed. All right, the soul moves on. But in Krishna's case, Krishna doesn't have a gross body, or he doesn't have a material body. All right, so the difference is that when we die, we let go, the soul moves on. But Krishna is the soul, the supreme soul. So he doesn't have a gross body. So that is the difference. Okay, we are also a person, he is also a person, but our person and his person is not same. So that is how we are different from Krishna. Okay, so that is why in text 6 he said, my transcendental body never deteriorates. All right. And every time he comes in original transcendental form. And every time we come, how do we come? How do we come?
In different bodies?
In different bodies, different shapes, colors, and everything. Yeah, yes, but we have different kind of physical bodies. Okay, so this is the difference. So the verse 6 is also very important, yeah. So I brought it here, like in a summary only. All right. So we cover the ancient origins of Bhagavad Gita and qualification to receive, receive through a Guru Parampara system. Then there was Arjuna's doubt on Krishna's superiority or seniority compared to Sun God. And then Krishna explains that his appearance and forms are different than ours. Okay, whereby he says, my birth and death are not like yours. My transcendent form, which is unborn and never dies, and I appear by my own will. Okay, earlier somebody answered why we take birth because of karmic reactions. But Krishna is not bound by all these karmic reactions. Okay, he doesn't have any karma. So it is out of his own sweet will he comes and goes. Okay. Of course, later he will say what are the reasons that he considered for his appearance. Okay, so this is important. Let's move on. So this application here, right? How can Krishna, born as son of Devaki, instruct Vivaswan, who is millions of years older? So basically, it starts with that question. So he explains this. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is also a recap verse. Okay, I hope you all remember this. It's a very famous verse. Sachireka Mataji, are you there? No. Somasundar Prabhu?
Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So this is talking about when he comes, at what kind of situation he comes. So there are how many reasons there? How many reasons? Or how many factors that determine his appearance? 2, very good. That's the Prabhu. Kritika Mataji, thank you. All right. It's got to do with the rise or fall of religious practice. Okay. When there is a rise in irreligion or decline in religious practices, then he comes. Someone born very basic. This is very basic purpose, reason, or what do you call that? Pulling factor for Krishna to come. Okay, Krishna is being very clear here why he comes. He comes to give pleasure to the devotees. All right, to remove people who are demoniac. So this will be covered in 4.7. All right. And whoever tried to oppose these religious principles, he will come to destroy them. Okay, so when the world becomes very degraded, fallen, so this is the time that Krishna comes to establish the genuine spiritual process. So this picture, what this picture is showing? Very easy. Very easy question. Okay, so the Lord appeared as Lord Rama to vanquish the demon Ravan. Yes. But you all know who's Ravan, right? Originally? Is there anybody who don't know who is Ravan in his original form? Can I hear from the chat if you know or you don't know?
Gatekeeper of Vishnu Vaikunda.
Yeah, okay. So I have one answer here. I don't know. No, okay. 1, 2. Anybody else who don't know? Don't know. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Any more? because there is a very beautiful story behind this. And that story I can tell if I tell the story of Lord Narsingadev. So 4 people so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anybody else? The rest of you all know? Okay, so just keeping the answer very, very short. Hiranyakashipu has an elder brother, Hiranyaksha. Okay, so here Ravana has brother Kumbhakarna. Kamsa's partner is Sisupala. Okay, so these 3 pairs of demons. So Krishna appears in various forms to kill these 3 pairs of demons. So they always come together. Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Kamsa, and Sisupala. Okay, so these 2 persons, right? They are actually the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. So might be thinking, if gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, they must be Vishnu's devotee. How they have assumed the form of demons and they have to fight with Krishna. Okay, so that's a big story. We will keep for another day. All right. Okay, so here Krishna is killing the demon king Kamsa. Okay. All right. So what else? Okay, I think we should move to. Okay, this is about when does Krishna come, and when Krishna comes, what does he do? So these are the activities that he does. Okay. Dasaradan Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. 4.8 translation. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So here the Lord says he comes time after time, not only once. Okay, millennium after millennium. Basically we are also done in level 1, and I also highlighted already. So there are 3 reasons why what does he do when he comes. He gives pleasure to the devotees. He deals with people who oppose the religious principles, and he will also teach the religious principles. Okay, so these are the 3 activities that he does when he comes. Okay, so by speaking Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago, he is re-establishing the religious practices that have not been followed well. So this is one reason. And the other time when he comes to kill the demons is actually 2 in a go. He comes to vanquish the demons, and he also comes to give the pleasure to the devotees. Why pleasure to the devotees? Because he can actually send any of his agents to kill the demons or set things right. But to please the devotees, the Lord has to come himself. And this is how he takes pleasure in the loving exchange with his devotees. Okay, so let me explain these terms one by one. If you have forgotten, let me just refresh a bit. So the pious means sadhu. Sadhu means a man in spiritual knowledge, man in Krishna consciousness, devotee. So these are all sadhu, pious. Okay, definition of duskritam. Duskritam means miscreants. They do not care for Krishna consciousness, God consciousness, divinity. They don't care. All right. And to vanquish all these people, the Lord can send any of his agents. Okay, but he specifically comes down to appease his unalloyed devotees. They want to see Krishna performing all these pastimes. So he understands that. So therefore, he comes personally. All right. Number 3 is the re-establish the principles of religion. So this I mentioned already. For example, he comes and gives the Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Okay, so the other reasons why Krishna comes personally is the devotees, right? They're always anxious to see Krishna. They want to see Krishna coming, and they want to see Krishna's gestures. They want to see Krishna speaking. They want to have exchange of relationship, reciprocation with Krishna. So they want all they are dying for all they're hankering endlessly for this. So Krishna comes to satisfy them. Okay, because the devotee, they don't want anything else. They only want this, right? So these are the reasons why Krishna comes. So Krishna already mentioned here to deliver the pious. Okay, all right. So we have covered the section A, I think already, 4.1 to 4.10. So all this about ancient history of Bhagavad Gita and Krishna's appearance and forms and Krishna's activities. When does he appear? Why? So all this has been given already. Okay, so all this you can remember, yeah? All right. So we want to know what is the use of all this knowledge for us? What is the purpose? What is the objective? We always want to know what's in it for me, right? This is what's in it for us. Okay. Back to Vijay Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. O Arjuna.
Right. Thank you, Prabhu. So now you know why the devotees wants to see Krishna again and again and again. There is one verse, I don't know if I have shared with this class. There's a one verse in Bhagavatam by Queen Kunti. Anybody can remember if I have mentioned it? Sivaranjani Mataji, have you heard that verse before? Let the calamity happen again and again.
Not sure, Mataji.
Mataji, Kritika Mataji, have you heard that verse?
No, Mataji, but then is it something like she says that it's okay as long as it's okay if there's calamities happening again and again, because that will be a reason for you to come and then I'll be able to see you.
Yes, that's right, Mataji. That's very beautiful. It's so nice when you explain also. So she knows the more and more calamity happens to them, because all the while the Pandavas going through a lot of problems, Krishna was always there to save them. So she knows the more and more or repetitively they get the darshan of Krishna, the more they get this benefit. Okay, seeing him upon because they every time they reciprocate with him, they have relationship with him, they're going to be absorbed in his thoughts. So they when they understand his appearance and activities upon leaving the body, they will not take birth again in this material world. So she knows that, and she says that if I see you again and again, then I will escape from this material world. So that is a boon. So that's why she doesn't mind the calamities happen again and again to her. Okay, unfortunately, we are not at that level, and we must be very careful what we pray for. Okay, all right. So right now we can just ask Krishna to bless us with service all the time. All right. So we can't pray for calamity to happen. All right. So this is Lord Krishna telling us the qualification to exit the material world. This is the Solan Bocho. Okay, this is the answer for the Solan Bocho. What should we do to exit this material world? To always hear his hear the stories of his appearance and activities. If you keep hearing this again and again and again, so your mind will be absorbed in his thoughts, and at the end of life, you're going to leave the body thinking of him, and we will attain that nature, attain his eternal abode. So if you can see all these glimpse here and there, right, it will be expanded in subsequent chapters later. So tell me, somebody, which chapter will expand on this? If you have your level 1 knowledge still fresh in your mind. Dharana Mataji. In which chapter Krishna will explain what to think of at the time of death and what will happen?
Sorry, Mataji.
Okay, no problem, Mataji. Kritika Mataji, would like to save us?
I googled, Mataji. Sorry.
Okay, Sivaranjini Mataji.
Is it chapter 5, Mataji? I'm not sure.
Chapter 5 is Karma Yoga, work in Krishna consciousness. This is entering section 2 already. The title also very is like total giveaway to the contents in that section. Maybe you can open the contents of your Bhagavad Gita, everyone.
It's chapter 2, right?
Tadu. Later on, it's going to come later on.
Can I give the answer, Mataji? Even though I cheated.
Okay, yes.
It's chapter 8, verse 6.
All right. Chapter 8, what's the title of the chapter 8, Mataji?
Attaining the Supreme.
Yes, so the entire chapter is about the art of living the body. So what verse you want to read for us, Mataji?
Verse 6, it says, whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail.
Okay, so is there any verse that Krishna mentioned about thinking about him?
Verse 5, Mataji.
Okay, what is it, Mataji?
And whoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so that was a very beautiful linkage. So now you know, sometimes you can speak on one topic, but you can pick verses from few chapters. So this is called thematic, okay? So like I mentioned earlier, the Bhagavad Gita after chapter 3 is more like a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, where Arjuna will ask more questions and Krishna will use the opportunity to explain further. Okay, so now you know from 4.9, you can actually jump to chapter 8. Okay, so you have to keep doing this exercise so you will have more verses to support a certain information. Okay, so this is the goal. All right, now the goal for everyone are two. Okay, one, the goal to, basically everybody's goal is to achieve liberation. Yes. Now there are two ways to achieve liberation. One is impersonal path, and another one is personal path. Personalism means personal path means bhakti, because we are worshiping person, right? Krishna in the form of person. Okay. Now the path that we take on impersonalism is difficult, because there will be later on Arjuna will ask Krishna which path is best. Krishna will say both are okay, but impersonalism is hard. It is difficult. This path is difficult. Both paths are fine. One is going left, one is going right. Maybe one is longer with lots of rocks and valleys, and one is smooth and quicker. Okay, both are fine. Will bring you to the destination. But the difference that is what is going to make is that which gives you a easy way out. All right, so Krishna will declare in Bhagavad Gita that impersonalism is hard, because you need to have a very long term of practice, and sometimes you fail and then you have to come again. Okay, right. The other part is the bhakti part. Okay, so the bhakti path is easy because you are not subduing all your senses and limbs and hands and legs. Okay, nobody is stopping us from doing work. We have to go on doing work. At the same time, we are purifying ourselves by performing devotional services. And this is why Krishna said this path is easier. And of course, in chapter 6, he also will say, out of all these yogis who performing the dhyana and hatha and ashtanga yoga, the bhakti yogi is the topmost, and he's the most dear to me. Right. Okay. So there are two ways, coming back to this verse, there are two ways to attain liberation. One is impersonalism and one is bhakti. Okay. The path of impersonalism and yogis is difficult because it needs a lot of endeavor. It's not very easy. It will take many, many births. Number two, the goal that this impersonalists will achieve, it's not the Bhagavan platform. Okay. They will go to which platform? Where would they go? All these dhyana yogis. Anybody knows? They will go, not Brahmaloka. It's above that. Yeah, they will go to the Brahma Jyoti. The Jyoti that comes from Krishna's body is called Brahma Jyoti. It's called effulgence, or it's called Brahman. Okay, so the Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence or light coming out from Krishna's body. So what is the risk at going to the Brahman platform is that there are no activities. Okay, so there is a risk of falling down back, because you have to engage in devotional service to attain Krishna's abode. Okay, because Krishna everywhere, throughout Bhagavad Gita, he says, Bhakti Yogi is the topmost. Okay, it's very easy. All right, so conclusively, it is suggested that cultivating Krishna consciousness with faith and knowledge, you can attain perfection. But this has to be done continuously by hearing his the transcendental topics of his appearance and activities. Okay, if we keep doing this, then Krishna willing, we can remember him at the time of death. All right, so this is our recap verse. Now this is a new verse for this level 2. Ganesha Prabhu.
Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So there are 3 keywords here: attachment, fear, and anger. Okay, so Krishna is describing here some of the qualities that we need to have to develop love for Lord Krishna and understanding him. So what we should not have is attachment, fear, and anger. What we should have is being fully absorbed in him. Okay, so this is an explanation of Guru Maharaj where he explained each and every terms here. So let's understand what is this attachment actually. So attachment could be many kinds of attachment. We could be attached to material things, objects. We could be attached to material relationships. And we could be also attached to material situations. All right. So care has to be given that we are not overly attached to these material attachments. Things, situations, and relationships. Okay, it could be more, but just sharing some. All right, and then we have problem with fear. What kind of fear? People have so many kinds of fear. People even have fear of having a spiritual identity. What does it mean is that just like in material world, we have material problems. People may think that in spiritual world, there will be spiritual problems. Okay, so fear, this is fear. Okay, and fear could be any other things as well. Okay, next is anger. Anger can also come, we think generally anger is happens when we are dissatisfied with material things. But anger can also come when we get frustrated in finding the genuine process for us to practice or surrender. Okay, we can be cheated by people in various, we can be cheated by various people in this process. Okay, I don't know how many of you all have been to different movements and then finally have come here. I would have easily gone to 3 or 4. Is there anybody has gone to more places than me? Finally, I got contact with a devotee. Otherwise, I was searching for a few years. Anybody else? Or maybe I'm so fallen, so it took me very long to come. Right? So there were free movements. There were places where you have to pay a lot of money. Okay. So did a lot of reading, did a lot of researches. Okay. Yes,
Sorry,
Prabhu.
Mataji.
Yes,
Meaning
Prabhu.
you try to find in other religions or other
Not
practice meaning?
religions, not religious, still is
Uh-huh.
Hindu. Yeah, but
Okay.
there are a lot of movements.
Oh, different movements in Hinduism.
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh.
Maybe different yogas, that kind of stuff. Some were meditation, some were worshipping the guru, powers, powers and all that. So that was my journey. Do you have anything to share, Prabhu?
Not really, Mataji.
You're very
but
fortunate.
but I would like to know something about all the religions. No?
All the religions, huh?
Yes. So
Okay,
that
that's
we
a
can
big
understand better.
one.
Like for example, Bible. What is written in the Bible? What is written in the Quran? Very eager to know.
Great.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. We do have occasional talks on this kind of things, Prabhu. There are senior devotees, when they talk, they refer to verses from Quran and Bible. They will compare. And you also have a book whereby religious Krishna consciousness and Christianity. Because my husband is a former Christian, so I think he was just reading one book that maybe he was talking to somebody, so he was referring to the book. So it's a very big topic, and we definitely should have more experienced people to talk on this. But otherwise, my journey is on coming to Krishna consciousness finally through inside Hinduism. I didn't go out anywhere. I wasn't seeking outside. It's just that I wanted to
Mataji,
find what is the most suitable path for us. I just wanted to find that out. Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhu, we get
because I'm still confused. Because they say there is only one God. They talk about in Hinduism. They talk about Brahma and Saraswati. So the equivalent is in Bible. They say Brahma is Abraham. Abraham became Brahma, and Saraswati is Sarah. So there is some link somewhere which I'm trying to find.
okay. So what I
Because
can tell
and
of my
sorry,
head is that you can always compare based on the timeline given. So Krishna's appearance was minimum 5,000 years ago. And if you can see, we are talking about millions of years ago's origination, creation, all that. Whereas the Bible stories you can go up to 2,000 years ago, Prabhu. So I will come from that angle
yes,
first,
yeah,
as a start off.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and generally what I will tell is along the way, along the progress of millennium, people intelligence is at different level. All right. So God has to send knowledge whereby it is applicable or acceptable for people at that time. Because if you given more than that, they will not accept it, and they will not have a virtuous path as it is inside their religion. So which means instead of totally being ignorant, they can follow a certain amount of guidance given applicable for that era. If you given more, they wouldn't be able to follow. It's like that. I'm coming from that as a start. At least that.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Definitely, if there is any classes going on like this, Prabhu, I will share in our group. So it'll be nice.
Oh, please,
join.
please, Mataji. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Welcome. Okay, so attachment, fear, anger. So, okay, yeah, we're talking about anger, right? Got sidetracked. So we can be cheated by various people in this process. So I was also frustrated. All right. So first money was gone and they say the guru is God. Okay, that's about it. That was the last straw and I left that place. Okay, so later on, there was a lot of news that actually went down. All right. So if you have a good guide, we'll be able to tell who are the cheaters and who are not the cheaters. Later on, when I got no knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, then I know, I was like, I wish I had known this much earlier so I could discriminate who is genuine, can be declared as God. And if you do not fulfill all these criteria, then you are not God. You're not even a genuine guru, because there are a lot of bogus teachers outside there. Okay, so we have to be well equipped with this kind of knowledge. Okay, so, and if you want to seek a genuine teacher, you pray sincerely and Krishna will send the guru to you. So all this has happened to me, and that is why I'm sharing to you. So if you are sincere for a guru to come and help you, right? So I was in a situation, very confused situation. I prayed to Jagannath, and few days later, guru came, and that's how things progressed. So power of prayers, the right prayers. Okay. All right. So here we are talking about the attachment, fear, and anger. Okay. There is a second point here is that there is a progress for a person to attain transcendental love. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen immediately. There is a progress. And this is called different stages of bhakti. So now I'm taking you to another segment. It is called different stages of bhakti. This is the progressive process to higher levels of purity. So you're getting more, you're starting with basics, with chanting and everything, and then you get more purified as your activities becomes intensified. Okay, so ultimately, this the goal that is achieved here is that you will be free from these three problems: attachment, fear, and anger. So this is the problem, right? So when you progress on these sadhanas, the stages of sadhana, these three will be taken care of, right? So on that note, there is a quick story about this personality called Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is a combined incarnation of Lord Brahma and Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, Prahlad Maharaj born in a demon family. Okay, right. And he is called Namacharya because he was a his background is a Muslim. Okay, he's a Muslim. However, he has gotten association from the Vaishnavas, and he's taken up the chanting very seriously, that he will chant 300,000 Maha Mantra before even having his meal. Okay, and he actually propagated loud chanting. Okay, what is the meaning of Namacharya? Namacharya is somebody who the most exemplifies how to best chant the holy name of Krishna. This is called Namacharya. Okay, so those days the Brahmanas, they were very they're very strict. Number one, they will not let non-Brahmanas to chant any spiritual mantras. And number two, when they saw this Haridas Thakur was very actively chanting Maha Mantra loudly, they don't like him. They will say, oh, you cannot chant mantra very loud. You'll wake up Lord Vishnu and the drought will come, famine will come. They have this kind of approach towards Haridas Thakur. Okay, so but Haridas Thakur has quoted certain verses from various Puranas and Bhagavatam that anyone who chants your name purifies all who hear his chanting as well as himself, which means it purifies the person who chants and it purifies the people who are hearing you chanting. Okay, and the other parties do not confine to only human. It also applicable to animals and plants. Every living entity around you who can hear you chanting will benefit. So this is mentioned in the Sastras, and Haridas Thakur will quote all these kind of verses to these people, to the Muslims and also to the Brahmanas. Okay, so much so he advances so much so that the Nawab, right? There's a leader there, the Muslim leader. He felt threatened about Haridas Thakur's devotion. Okay, he didn't like the Haridas Thakur taking up Hinduism like this. So what he did, okay, yeah, Haridas Thakur faced fierce opposition from Muslim ruler. So this ruler, this Nawab, he actually planned something to distract Haridas Thakur to show that he is just an imposter. He is not a sincere devotee whatsoever. So he challenged himself that he is going to distract Haridas Thakur within 3 days. All right. So what happens is that he sends a prostitute. This prostitute, first day, she comes to Haridas Thakur and expresses that she wants to be with him. So what Haridas Thakur will say, okay, I will fulfill your desires, but could you please bear with me? I have to finish my 300,000 names of chanting. Then I can come and see you. So what he will do, he will make her sit there and he will chant, he will chant, he will chant, he will chant until day ends and she'll get tired. Okay, I'm going home, I'm tired, I'll come back tomorrow. So day two comes. Again, he will say, oh, I haven't finished my chanting today. You wait for a while, let me finish my chanting. So like this second day also went. Third day, also the same thing. But what happens at the end of the third day, that prostitute had a change of heart and she told Haridas Thakur, you know what, actually, I was sent here by this Nawab to distract you. Okay, to show that you are not a genuine devotee, but it seems like you are such a pure soul that you are never distracted, and I want to be your disciple. So later on, she actually became his disciple, bald her head, and she set out to preach all around the place. And that is the power. This story actually talks about the power of the Harinam, even on those who are most low, or it doesn't discriminate caste or religion or gender or job, anything. All right, it benefits everyone. So that is the beauty and the glory of the holy name. All right. Yes, here Portia had change of heart hearing Haridas Thakur chanting. So she accepted him as a guru. Their relationship changed from to guru and Sishya. She started taking up chanting and she started worshipping. Let's see. Okay, as soon as she controlled her senses, the symptoms of love of God appeared in her. In this way, the prostitute became a famous devotee. She became very advanced in spiritual life, and many great devotees would visit her. Okay, right? So, what we need first to start off, what do we need? We need to have faith. First, you have to have faith. Okay, what are we learning? Who are we learning from? Who are we learning about? That faith. Later, you have to expand your circle to accept more devotee association. So today's class at Sunday Feast, the most important thing in our spiritual life is this: Sadhu Sangha. Even if you do not have faith, even if you're not doing any devotional service, no matter what kind of activities you do, but if you always remain in the circle of devotees, that will save you. That will save us. Okay, so this is very, very important. Next, with their guidance and their association, their inspiration, we will engage in performance of devotional service. When we continuously engage in devotional service in the association or under the guidance of the devotee or guru, gradually our unwanted attachments will be gone. So this is called anartha nivritti. All the anarthas will be gone. Nivritti means eradicate, okay, dispose. And then we will have steadiness. When we are steadily doing certain thing, like not interrupted, all right, we will get taste. I don't know if you could actually introspect yourself in the last, when we started our level 1, May, is it? So from May until August, you try to see if you have lost taste for something and you have gained taste for something. So you introspect and see if your taste has changed. So probably you'll be watching more TV shows. Maybe now you are cutting down some, and maybe you're listening to lectures or reading or going through the Bhagavad Gita pages, or you are spending more time to talking to people about Krishna. Okay, right? So that kind of improvement, see where your tastes have skewed to now. And then you get attachment, whether you get attachment to deities, you get attachment to devotees, you get attachment to chanting or worshipping your Krishna on your altar. So what are you attached to? Okay, so these are all very high level. This is love and that is pure love. So basically this part can be fairly quick for everyone. This part will be difficult. You will be maybe rocking back and forth for some time. And after there's a major breakthrough, this will happen. Okay, this is basically pure devotees can actually taste this. So this is the progressive stage of advancement in devotional life. Okay, so we can practice this bhakti yoga. There is a process. We go one step by one step at a time. So finally, we will get the goal. Okay, the point here is that we have to start. What do you say? A million miles start with one step. Journey start with one step. Yeah, so this is it. You have to have faith. All right, so how this has happened, this anatta nivritti, it's difficult, but how it can happen? Possible by practice and detachment. Okay, question. Where does this phrase come in Bhagavad Gita? This word difficult, Arjuna has mentioned once, and Krishna said it's possible with practice and detachment. I think I've asked this question too many times already. Anybody remember? You can tell me what chapter, or you can tell me what topic, or you can tell me the content or context of Arjuna bringing up this difficulty. Kirtika Mataji? I think you can recall.
Mataji, I cheated again by trying to Google.
Hey, no problem. Sila.
I'm not sure. Is it chapter 6, verse 35?
Okay, I don't remember the verse, but chapter 6 is correct. I think you are getting the answer. You want to tell me?
Okay, the verse 35 says, Lord Sri Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. That's the answer. Okay, so we can relate. Again, we can relate another verse from different chapter. Okay, So this is the chart. All right. So we have covered all this. 2 parts of yoga. Devotion path is easier. Okay. Oh, all right. So we have a lot more to go. Okay. So we have 3 modes and 4 divisions here. This is talking about the 3 modes of material nature and the work associated with them. Okay, so this we are talking about Varna Asrama here. Okay, this is a recap verse. So I will not go in. I hope you all remember. Okay, Brahmana, Satriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. 4 kinds of people doing different activities. None of this group can live without the other. Okay, and there is no superiority or such things that way. Okay. And this kind of work does not affect Krishna, okay, because he is just like the king that visits the prisoners in the prison. Even though he appears to be in the vicinity or premise of the prison, it doesn't mean that he is there because he has committed some karmic actions and he has to come and suffer. Just like how I mentioned earlier, why he's born in the jail, why he was banished to another village, why he was raised as just a cowherd boy, why he was born dark. All right, so all this, none of these karmic reactions affect Krishna. Okay, he is above all these 3 modes. Okay, and when he's like a king who comes to visit the prison. Okay, and when the king comes, he doesn't come alone. He always comes with his associates like the soldiers, the ministers, the priests, advisors, elephant. So this is how Krishna comes. When Krishna comes, he comes with his entourage. Okay, so this is the difference between us coming to the material world and Krishna coming to the material world. Okay, so please read this verse, yeah. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. So this is the knowledge Krishna is giving us. Do not get entangled with the fruits of our work. So this is establishing Krishna's transcendental position. Okay, so if we have done all this, okay. Understanding karma on the platform of jnana. Okay, this is inaction in action and action in action. I'm so sorry, yeah, I can't get you all to read because we are running behind time. One who sees inaction in action means this. You may seem like doing actions, but because you are performing devotion service and this has no reaction, it is called, when your work does not give any actions, any reaction, what does it call? Yes, okay, karma. But if you're not doing anything and you're not doing devotional service, then that will give you reaction. Okay. So if we are able to see this difference, then he is called intelligent. Okay, he may seem to be doing a lot of activities, but he's actually not doing anything. Means, what does it mean? Because he doesn't have reaction. So that is why it's called inaction in action. Okay. So this is important. Okay, can we have, maybe we can have, I'm panting already. Anybody would like to read? Zero actions, karma. Yes, correct. Can we have somebody to quickly read? We extend another probably 10 minutes.
Yes, Mataji. A
Okay.
person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So this verse is talking about the action of performing an activity. Okay, so this is for a person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Okay, this means when a person in Krishna consciousness perform a sacrifice, whatever that he does in the consciousness of sacrifice to Krishna, that is absolute. Okay, and whatever comes out from that, maybe you offer the food to Krishna and then you take out the remnants. Okay, or you perform a yagya and then you got some remnants. So this is both absolute. That is also transcendental. The output also transcendental. because all the work are done for Krishna's pleasure. It produces no karma, and that is why it is called transcendental. Okay. All right. So the Brahman here, there's so many Brahman word here. The Brahman word is translated as spiritual. Okay. The Lord is spiritual. So now we are coming to the Brahma Jyoti. Yeah. So the Lord is spiritual, and anything that is coming out from his body is also spiritual. And the effulgence that is coming from his body is called Brahma Jyoti, or spiritual effulgence. Okay, so this word, right, I mean, this point is supported by a verse from Sri Ishopanishad. Okay, if there is a light, then you should have a bulb. All right, the light does not come without a bulb. There should be a source for the ray of light. So now this Sri Ishopanishad talks about how the verse here talks, "Oh my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, sustainer of all that lives. Your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence." So Krishna's face is covered by the dazzling effulgence. That is the Brahma Jyoti. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. So this is a prayer for Krishna to remove that Jyoti, to show his face, to reveal his face to the devotees. So that is Brahman. Brahman means the Jyoti, and Krishna is covered by that effulgence. Okay, so just that only one verse on the Brahman. Okay, you can read more. All right, so okay, we covered this. The Krishna consciousness process is converting illusory consciousness into Brahman. Okay, acting in pure devotional service is our karma, free from reactions. Okay, so you will see how things are expanded in subsequent chapters like this. You will find it's like repetitive, but it's to reinforce our understanding. Okay, so the next one we will not cover in level 2. And finally, we have how this transcendental knowledge destroys sinful reactions. So this is how we get an hope. Okay, acquiring all this knowledge, how it can benefit us. Can we have somebody to read this? This is the last verse for today. Sorry, this is the second last. There's one more verse.
I'll read, Mataji.
Okay.
Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Mataji.
So there are few criteria here, a few points here. One, we seek knowledge by approaching a spiritual master, and you put forth questions and you give service. So there should be this exchange. You give service and then you seek knowledge from the guru. So this is a recap verse. So I hope you all can recall this. Okay, this is the process how to receive the knowledge. Okay, Krishna describes how to approach a spiritual master: humble, inquire or ask questions, and serve. In return, the spiritual master will answer the inquiries and give the student spiritual knowledge. All right, the benefit of having such association with the guru is this: he will never fall again into such illusions. So do you all remember in level 1, what does this mean by falling into such illusion? Actually, the answer is in the verse, but I just want you to extract it out for me. What is this illusion? What are we illusioned about? What kind of knowledge the guru can give us based on this verse? Can anybody think fast? It's like a comprehension, right? That we are this body. Okay. Forgetfulness on God. No. Krishna is in everyone's soul, that we are acting independently. Yes. Okay. That we are separate from Krishna. That is the illusion. We are enjoyer on our own. We think that we are the controller. Yes, separation. We think that we have no connection with the Lord. We are not the part and parcel. We are the controller. We are the creator. Okay, everything is done because of us. We are the doer. So all this is illusion. Now the guru comes and tells us, no, dear, this is not the fact. The fact is that we are always remain as a part and parcel of Krishna. Okay, all living beings are but part of the Supreme, and we are all His. Okay, in other words, that they are mine. Okay, so we are under this kind of illusion, and the guru will expel this illusion. Okay, so this is also a recap. This is the knowledge. Finally, we are on this boat. Who can get on this boat? Anybody would like to read? And what happens when we get on this boat? Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Thank you,
Yes.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, by the mercy of a spiritual teacher, we will get the transcendental knowledge. Okay, can everyone benefit from this knowledge? Yes, everyone who comes in the connection with the devotee, they can partake of this this journey. They can get on board, and we will be on our way to cross over the ocean of miseries. Okay, and Krishna said even worse sinners. So I don't know how bad a sinner could be, but as long as he on the boat of this knowledge, with the genuine spiritual master as the captain, then our path is progressive. Okay, so Krishna is giving a nice example, giving a boat as an example. Okay, so that's about it. I think this is the benefit of receiving the knowledge. Oh, there's one more. Sorry. Okay, can we have somebody to read this?
A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge, and having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So who is qualified? A faithful man. What is the benefit? He will subdue his senses. So the chapter 4 is about transcendental knowledge, and we have received so much of knowledge, like so part up with knowledge this chapter. Okay, and who will benefit? When we have faith. Remember this, the ladder, right? It starts with Shraddha, the faith. So when you start with faith, even the most sinful person, if you're on board, you will be able to cross the ocean of material suffering, and he will be able to subdue his senses. And this kind of people will be able to achieve that knowledge. And then we will be on the journey to cross the ocean of material miseries. Okay, right? So we are done with this. I'm going to leave this here. Okay, we will recap in our next class. But generally, we have covered the ancient history of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, importance of discipline succession, what happens, why the chain is broken, under what circumstances Krishna comes and gives it again. All right, the difference between Krishna and us, and understanding his birth and activities, what will it bring us? Okay, what is the benefit for us? And how Krishna is not bound by the three modes and karmic reactions, just like how we are. All right. And seeing action in inaction and inaction in action. Basically, this is our karma. And finally, who we should get this knowledge from a guru, and what we should do to get the knowledge from the guru, and what will happen if we get this knowledge. What kind of person will get the knowledge, and what is the hope for the sinful persons in this context. Okay, and we also saw the ladder of bhakti. All right, it starts with faith. Okay, so one last slide for somebody to read.
In East Bengal, there was a Brahmana named Tapan Mishra. He was confused after reading many Vedic literatures regarding their conclusion on the means to achieve liberation. He approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and sincerely inquired him to clear his confusion. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that in Kali Yuga, one can't achieve perfection of life by being a bookworm. One can attain salvation only by chanting the holy names of Krishna. The Shastras recommend Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatir Anyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way.
All right, thank you, Mataji. Okay, so chanting of the holiness surpasses all the knowledge, okay, because this is the ultimate of this, all this knowledge. Okay, I mean, sorry, culmination of the knowledge. Okay, so any questions? So siapa cuti? I'm KL, I have to go to work. Anybody on off tomorrow? Public holiday?
I'm working, Mataji.
Working, KL, yeah. My children are at home. Never mind, they can do revision. Johor. Okay. All right. KL. Wow, a lot of you are in KL. Anybody want Bhagavad Gita? I'm working in KL. I can bring and keep there. You can come and collect from me, or I'm in Puchong. If you are staying nearby, I have 2 big books here and 2 small books here. Right? You can also take, and you want to give to somebody also can. So you're most welcome to do that. Okay, that's all for today.